So what doesn't work in print on demand in 2024? I'm going to show you something, and I think it's going to blow your mind. So Etsy, I hate to crap on it all the time, but they really don't work. And if you disagree with me, go ahead and leave the video now. If you agree, I'm going to show you some stuff to convince you of why Etsy doesn't work for print on demand in 2024. So first of all, the number one reason is this. Let's say it's Father's Day, and I want to find a Father's Day t-shirt, so I go to Etsy and I type this in. And then me having Everbee, which is awesome, by the way, I go to product analytics and I can just, search for sales on the first page and try and find like the number one shirt, which is this one, which is 40 months old. So I click it and now I can see it is. I keep all my dad jokes in a database. 4,724 reviews. It's priced at $10.49, which is for the baby toddler size, whatever it is. Probably right at the bottom of the list here. Get that. Toddler. Baby suit, sorry. So yeah, because babies are going to wear this, right? I keep all my dads in a database and a baby's going to wear it, or a toddler, or a youth. Like, come on, man. Anyway, Etsy still insists on showing the lowest price out of every variant you have, so sellers take advantage of that. They exploit that loophole like crazy. The only problem is, and the reason why Etsy is kind of failing, is if I'm a buyer and I go and look at this and I found it and I click on it, and then I go to pick my shirt size and I'm like, I'm a big dude. So I go to, well, that price just went from 10 bucks to 18 bucks, almost 19 bucks. So now I'm like, what the heck? Why is it showing at 10? Something must be wrong here. Instantly I have doubt. When I have doubt as a buyer, I'm not going to buy it. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go back to the search bar and I'm going to see if I can find any more shirts that are like this. So look, I keep all my jokes in a dad base because that's funny and I'm a dad and I want to find this. And then I'm like, there's got to be other sellers that have it for cheap too, right? So as a buyer, I type that in and I go and look and I'm like, oh, here's one. Well, wasn't I just on that one? Probably. I don't know. Here's one. Oh, this is cool. Let me click on this one. So I'm a buyer, and I look at this, and I see a dude wearing a t-shirt that says, I keep all my dad jokes in a database. Now, it's not as cool as this one was, or the main one, but still, I'm like, $3.50, add to basket, no options? What size is it? Well, you know what? I'm just going to buy it anyway, because I'm a buyer, remember, and I don't read. I don't read anything. So, as a seller, an Etsy seller, I know this is a digital file, but as a buyer, they're confused because they're like, why are they showing me a t-shirt and they're selling me a digital file? And even though down here it does say it, this is a digital item, no physical product will be shipped. As a buyer now, I'm like, okay, well, that seems too good to be true. I'm not going to do that one. I want to find one similar to that at a cheap price. Here's one right here. Let me go to this one. And of course, $10.95, perfect. Let me just pick my size here because that's the price I was looking for originally. And I go here and I'm like, okay, let's see, 3XL. Wait, what? 10 bucks to 22 bucks. I'm a buyer. I'm confused. Why did that just jump in price so much from that size up to my size? Like, this is ridiculous. So I'm not going to buy this. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to type it back in here and I'm going to keep looking. This is what people do on Etsy now. They're so confused because of that pricing gimmick and because of the fact that there are so many, like, look at my screen. How many copycats are on here? Like, how many people are selling the exact same thing on Etsy? And they're using every trick in the book to get you. And you know what it does for buyers? It turns them off. They think, well, I don't understand, first of all, why those prices are showing so low, like $10.33, and then as soon as I click on it and pick my size, it instantly doubles in price or more. That ticks off buyers. So Etsy is failing there. Number two is it's just, there's so many in here. Like, as a buyer, I'm now confused. I'm like, why does Etsy have so many of these shirts? Like, what is happening? Why do they have so many? Like, it just, there's so many red flags that rise up in my head as a buyer if I didn't know better. So I'm a seller now on Etsy, and I'm like, oh, I know what everybody did. Everybody found a best-selling shirt, and they did what Etsy does. They copied it, like a Xerox machine. And some of them put it into a different format. But really, in reality, If you have a winning product on Etsy, it's going to get copied, and it's going to get copied by hundreds of people. So I'm on page 2. Let me just hop to page 5, see if it's still on there. Yep, still on page 5. And you know why it's on page 5? Because it's so easy to buy these. It's so easy. You're like, well, I couldn't make that design. That's pretty cool. That is the actual design. So that design is very cool. You're right. I can buy that. And I can put that on a shirt very easily. So for $2, instead of me spending like 30 minutes on Canva or using Photopea or Illustrator or Photoshop or whatever, I can buy this and I can list it on my store. So what I'm saying is, this is why print on demand doesn't work. It doesn't work because the buyers are confused, and it doesn't work because the sellers don't have a creative, unique bone in their body. All they do is they scour Etsy for best sellers, and then they copy them. And I'm on page, what was that, 7? And this is just one example. I could go through 100 different t-shirt designs. Let's go to page 9. Let's see, are we still there? Yeah, we are. Like, it's just, can you imagine if you're a buyer and you come here and you see this mess and you're like, I don't understand why this is so cheap. And then when I click on it, the price goes up, and then I go look for more and there's like, what, 500 different options here? It really turns buyers off. It really does, because they have no idea what the heck is going on. It doesn't make sense to them. Oh, I'm on page 11 now. And how many are on a page? What? Well, we can count the rows, I guess. So per page, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 rows. 16 rows of 4. So let's go like this, calculator. 16 times 4. There's 64 options per page. I'm on page 11. 704 sellers have made this design. 704, and I'm only on page 11. I could keep going. There are probably more than 1,000 sellers that are selling this exact design. And this is not isolated to Father's Day t-shirts. This is every bestseller on Etsy. So if you think you can come into Etsy and sell t-shirts or sweatshirts or hoodies or whatever, because you're going to have a unique design, okay, you might have a unique design for 2 minutes before it starts making sales, and then people pick up on it, and then they copy you, and then they make their own. And all of a sudden, 1,000 other sellers and you are trying to sell the same thing. You're all competing for the exact same keywords because you copy the keywords too, and you copy the title, and you copy everything. It's just, this is why print on demand does not work with Etsy. It just doesn't work anymore. I'm going to save the buttons here. I'm going to go up in the URL bar. I'm going to go to page 21. Let me just experiment. I'm on page 21. 21. And I'm still getting results. So I thought it was 1,000. It's way more than that. 64 times 21. We're at 1,344 Etsy sellers selling the exact same shirt. You might even be one of them. Do you think you're going to make any money on Etsy? No. You know what you need to do? You can take this design and you can put it on your own store, and you can get off this Xerox machine that is the Etsy universe, especially for print on demand. Put it on your own store, make the design. You'll do a lot better. Not only that, you can actually price it legitimately. You can price at a point where people don't think it's a scam. Because I know when I see a shirt for like $8 or $10, I automatically think, what's wrong? And when other buyers see that don't understand how Etsy works, they think, well, something's wrong here. And then they go on a search and search and search and search. And eventually they're like, this place makes no sense to me. My mind is so confused. I'm not going to buy anything. So in the past, I would say 2020, all this stuff worked because you could list something and it was harder for people to find it because all the spy tools weren't there helping sellers find all these best sellers and copy them. But now you have a bestseller and you're up to like, I'm on page 21. I got 1,344 other Etsy sellers competing with me for one freaking shirt. Multiply that by how many shirts are on Etsy? It's insane. So go make your own store. Advertise your own store. Control everything. Control the traffic. Own your customer data. Don't build Etsy's brand. Build your own. That's the way you solve this. If you need some help, go here, and I can help you. I am 1000% biased because I've done it all. And I've been doing this for over 17 years. It is not easy. Just because you're going off Etsy, it doesn't mean it's going to be easy. It's still going to be hard. But you're going to have a lot higher success rate, a lot better chance of succeeding off of Etsy versus on it. So anyone who's just getting into the Etsy universe, I'm just giving you a friendly warning. You're in for an uphill battle. Like, you're going to be climbing Mount Everest in your underwear. It's going to be very difficult for you. All right, go check this out, www.printondemandcoach.com. If you're interested, come on in, watch me build a Shopify t-shirt store. Not on Etsy. All right, have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.